I was gonna say, so basically Draymond was just saying like this is a bad idea for folks, and the 65 games is like said something about he called people bums. He's calling players bums. He said you're gonna be mad when you have bums make it to your all NBA team
Mm-hmm.
because some of these players, your stars get hurt and they miss 10 games. And because of your rule, you're gonna have bums making over supermax. You have bums making supermax deals because they got incentives to make all NBA teams. It's a little harsh on the bum part. Like, come on, Draymond. Like, your bench is full of these players that help out, and you gonna call them bums? Like, Steph and them not the healthiest players. And Jordan Poole stepped up. So are you saying he's a bum?
Mm.
Mm,
I'm just saying that's the ideal person who's gonna step in for him because we know Haslam not gonna get on the court.
exactly.
So the choice of words for me was what really messed it up. It's like I understand your point, but the choice of words is like, so it's kind of like right message, wrong messenger.
Yeah, we said Bond. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Talk to us. What's your thoughts on that? You agree with him?
Yes and no. Yes, because I believe the comment was more. Well, I'll say yes because I mean, if we're talking about bums, is he talking about people that only playing like 10 minutes a game, maybe coming in and garbage time? If he's talking about that, then I think he's tripping because I don't think there's going to be any of those kind of players to make an All NBA team. I think if that's what he's saying, then it don't really make sense. I mean, how many players? So are we talking about like players like Grant Williams, maybe?
He gotta be alluding to those type of players who get like
Players
maybe
like
15.
like I mean, I don't think Pat Bev is a bum, but he's not an All NBA kind of player. So
Mm-hmm.
is he talking about Pat Bev? Is he talking about uh like players like Hayward Highsmith? Hayward Highsmith, trust
No.
me, he will never make an All NBA team. He won't. It's not happening. But if we're talking about players um, like you said, Jordan Poole and stuff like that, I think those players might deserve it if they play 65 plus games and someone only plays 50. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay. I mean, he's balling out for one. If he's balling out and the other person's balling out, the other person that hasn't been healthy enough, and we can't control health, so I understand that. But if it's Jordan Poole, then I believe Jordan Poole deserves to get in. We all know Jordan Poole is on a max contract, and he plays well coming off the bench. I think in any other team, any other situation, he would be a starter. The other reason why he's not a starter because they still have Klay Thompson there, and they still have Steph. Those two are really good players, and you got a really good bench for real. So I get it. And Draymond, other than your passing and defense, your offense is not good. You're not a scorer. So if you miss 50 games, if you only play 50 games, then you probably won't get on that All NBA team or really All NBA defensive team. But are there really that many defenders out there that are really that good? But I don't think this is. I personally don't think it's going to be a big issue because most of the players, most of the players on the bench don't play a lot of those games. I mean, and even if they play, they're not going to get to that. They're not going to get enough minutes to be able to say that they deserve to be on an All NBA team. I think that counts too. So that's just my thoughts on it.
See, all right. I disagree 100% with Draymond. Let me start there. I'm all for this award. I mean, this game minimum thing. And here's why. The reason why they put the award out, and then he tried to compare it to people this year. First of all, if going into this year, we had a 65 game minimum, don't you think that Steph would have played more games?
Yep.
Don't you think Giannis would have played more games? LeBron would have
Mm-hmm.
played more games? AD would have played more games? The man set out on the back to back, and he said he felt 100% healthy. But the team didn't want to injure him, so they set him up on the back to back. So what this does is it gives players incentive to play in their mind meaningless games. You know, like for example, Portland, they just set everybody out. Dang, 100% healthy. Just set them. You know what? We ain't making the playoffs. Just sit down. All right,
Portland start,
Dang.
Portland started the trend by benching Dame because now Luka and Kyrie are sitting. We got other players that are
No,
just
Luke and Kyrie
teams
still
are
playing.
sitting in place.
They said Luke and Kyrie still playing, but they still playing. But Luka did say like, as long as we got a chance, I'm still playing, and I respect that. But Dame sitting out, you know, like Dame could have been all NBA. I mean, he will be probably most likely, but you know, if this was next year, you think Dame was to be playing, right? Because he wanted to be all NBA. Because part of your contract extension qualification to get the max super max bonus, you got to be all NBA. So it's a good incentive, and I love that. And if you plan on making a playoff run, you got to play in the regular season. You can't just freeload the regular season and then hop in the playoffs. Play great. I hope it's win a championship. But at the end of the day, there are plenty of fans who go to games, travel thousands of miles to see you play, and you don't show up. Listen, Kawhi Leonard, when my favorite play, I flew all the way to Sacramento to see the Kings, but they was playing the Clippers. Kawhi didn't even play. I was like, dang, I ain't get a chance to see Kawhi Leonard play. So my whole thing is, one thing I liked about Jordan always said, I try to play every game. That's why he played 82 games multiple times. And he said, I give my best because you never know who's watching. They might be seeing me for the first time. So I love it. 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 So load management, Tomo.
You're done, son. I don't even know how to play the sound. I got you. But so that's funny, Joe, because I had my incentives written down, and you named all of them. That's the incentives behind it. But my cons, right? One of them was probably increased injuries because you know some of these players really don't take care of their bodies, and this is where the clip came from.
Everybody's complaining about the load management and all of these different things.
It's funny.
And say Giannis plays 64 games and he doesn't make the All NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say, this will be different in Giannis' case because of years of service, but let's say Giannis doesn't have the years of service and then he doesn't qualify for the Supermax with the Milwaukee Bucks, and then all of a sudden Giannis like, well, forget this, I'm out of Milwaukee and I'm going to Los Angeles because that's better for my brand, and I'm building a production company. I'm going to New York because that's better for my brand, and I'm building a production company. All of a sudden it's working against those lower market teams.
Like Sacramento.
Yeah. So when he made that point, I said, I'm glad he caught himself because he said Giannis, right? Now let's think of like a Jordan Poole who would play for like the Wizards. Say the Wizards. And he's balling out, even though, yeah, let's say the Wizards. The Wizards is perfect. Or Orlando. Let's say Orlando too. Teams that don't make it to TNT a lot. I can see a lot of people saying, you know what? Well, I'm gonna go somewhere where the massive media is, and I'll just go there instead of doing this whole all NBA. Like I don't need that incentive. I'll just get my money on the back end, and we'll just do it on YouTube. So when he said that, I was like, you have a point there, but the league is getting younger, Draymond, and more of these kids do want to play more games. Like I don't see a Jordan Poole pulling a move like that where he's saying like, well, if I'm healthy, I'm gonna just be a healthy scratch. I don't see that. And I'm gonna name one more of my cons before you all respond to the video. Kawhi Leonard may retire. If he got to play 65 games, he's like, I'm out.
No
I
more
don't think so. I don't think so. I think I look at it this way. Some players don't care about these awards either.
True.
And I'll say this because he's on my team. He's not considered a superstar. But Jimmy Butler doesn't care about these awards. Whenever his agent calls him and lets him know he hangs up the phone. He doesn't care about that. All he cares is about winning. So some players it'll matter to, some players it won't. It all depends on who it is. And I think Kawhi is one of those players where I don't think he cares whether he makes an all NBA team or not. I don't think it matters to him.
Okay, let me respond to the video. First of all, Draymond, people do that now. All right, people don't have to wait. Giannis is an anomaly. First of all, everybody was surprised he stayed and signed that Supermax with Milwaukee when he got that extension. We were all like, "What are you doing? You should leave." And he turned around and I don't trust it. And he turned around and he signed a contract and he won the championship. But people normally leave. And number two, you talking about Giannis? That was a bad example. Let me tell you why. Because Giannis is on track to hit 65 games. But do y'all know the game before they played Boston, he set out? completely healthy. He sat out. You know why? Because it was a back-to-back game. They knew the Celtics was coming to town, and they were trying to prepare, quote unquote, for the Celtics. Basically, get ready for the Celtics. So my whole thing is, if you had a 65 game minimum, because Giannis came out and said himself he cares about the MVP, right? There's nothing wrong with that. He said that. Then Giannis would have played that game with somebody, a fan, paid money to go watch him go play that game. Like, that's the thing. And back then, we didn't like if they would have came out with this rule 20 years ago, it wouldn't matter because they play every game. They play every game. At the end of the day, you're a professional. All right. So I'm 100% disagreeing with Draymond saying, and I don't know why he's having a big deal of it. I mean, it's not like he's gonna win anymore. No, I'm not gonna take no shot at Draymond. Right? I had Draymond win a defensive player of the year this year, but I'm 100% against what Draymond's saying. 65 game minimum, let's get it.
I think with also because he may have more details into the actual CBA, because that was another one of my questions too. Is like, what if one of these players naturally do get hurt? Like, let's say they do tear like a ligament or something that has them out for a minimum of maybe 9 to 10 games. Like, does that really affect your 65? Because if you were actually hurt, I think you should still be able to come back and qualify for an all NBA team because you were actually hurt. You weren't a healthy scratch.
Well, I think even if I think him saying 10 games was wild too, because even if you miss 10 games, there's still more than enough games to play. there are 82 games in the season. That means if you miss 10, that means you play 72, so you qualify. So I think the number
including that paid time off, that sick leave.
I get it, but if you're going to include load management, include the amount of games in load management as well. Don't just say 10 games, because if you miss 10 games, that's still 72 games you get to play. All right.
And then talking about what you mentioned about the injuries, right? And how they don't take care of themselves. That's first of all, it's medicine today. They say, and the technology. Players should be even more healthier today. Why are we getting hurt even more of all the technology and stuff? So
because
if
they had out too much.
Yeah, exactly. If they have an incentive to play a minimum games, that will get them an incentive to take care of themselves. It will. Like I said, AD set out of a game when he said he felt 100% fine, but it was being cautious with him. First of all, y'all in the play-in. Why are you being cautious with AD? If you start there, all right, you gotta get to 6 seed. Like, so don't blame the players. You really could, but it's really the training staff and stuff like that that's telling these players not to play.
Well, as long as they don't got the Ravens training staff, they should be good, right?
Wow. But honestly, how many players now play all 82 games?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's rare.
I think that's why he more upset, because he's an older player. Because I'm gonna let you finish it, Joe and Elvis. Like, the younger players are going to do this. I think it's because he's an older player. Like, now y'all restricting me and my contract. I think it's more personal. It affects my contract.
Yeah, one more year left.
Even if we talk about one player who we know takes care of everybody better than anybody in the league, LeBron James has only played 82 games one time his entire career. So, and now he's being hurt a lot more. Back in the day, there are more people getting injured now than there was back then, with everything being better now. So Draymond, I don't think he made sense right there.
I don't agree with him at all. Like that. I don't agree with him. I love it. And plus the players agree to it. It's like, what are you complaining for?
And as far as like the regular season with LeBron, I can understand the regular season part, because he has been to like that 10 straight final run. Like, you're playing into like the end of June. So that kind of gives you that 82. But it was the bum. It was the bum, and I think he's taking it personal. Like, look at Draymond. He's full of grades now.
But when you say bums, okay, how about this? Steph don't make it. Who gonna make it in Steph place? SGA?
That's not a bum.
He ain't a bum.
I don't think he's a bum. I mean, even SGA sitting out, he low managing. Lori Marketing is low managing right now. You know why? Because they tanking. They like low managing. Lori Marketing, he's not playing back-to-back games. Really? Lori Marketing, like he's really that hurt?
Exactly.
So you have to try and tank.
Blame the Spurs. Blame Greg Popovich and the Spurs. They started this low management.
Hey, he's smart. He took advantage of the system, and now the NBA finally caught up. And they're like, nah, bro, you're not about to keep doing it. Like, Pop was doing it, but now the NBA hot with it. They hot. And my last point, y'all, is this. This is how I know people are sending out so much, y'all. Y'all saw that stat where it says where the Bucks at right now, they're the number 1 seed in the NBA, they win percentage. is lower than Tim Duncan's career winning percentage?
Mm.
You know why? Because they play almost every game. Your stars is always there. But in now today's NBA, we might not. When the Warriors win 73-9, Steph played, Clay played, Draymond, you my guy, you played. I had to have him my guy like my man Dave. You played that year.
But you proved the point though. There was an incentive behind them playing like that. They were trying to break that record. So there you go.
Exactly. So like my man DJ said, when there's an incentive, you will rise to the occasion. That's what winners do.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Draymond, make another idiotic comment if you want to.
Doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
From next to KP. They'll get along good, right? They'll get along
exactly, they would.
Oh no, KP out.
He out, that's right.
He's gonna be next to Skip.
My man they'll get along too. He talking about he got locked out. Oh, he out. He got yesterday. He got like 3 weeks.
You ain't seen him. He doing good now. His take's been clean. He ain't even saying nothing crazy no more.
Good comment, Jerry. Ice up, son. Ice up. Ice up.
Sports medicine is way better than his way. Yup. Ice up, son.
That is true because sports medicine back then was just a brew and a cigarette. So
Fact.
You're right, Jerry. You right.
Everything natural. I'm still not natural at all. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.